close defeat, 24-21 to Warren Local. Morgan also lost their season opener in a nail-biter by a digit to the Marietta Tigers, 13-12. So this is a Morgan team 0-2 coming in, facing what we saw last week is now a 2-0 New Lexington squad.
Well, that 0-2, that's a quality 0-2 record, though.
Third and long.
Stay on the ground.
Yeah, Bankus gets the carry as he got the call again. And to the 21, he's going to lose another yard. So 3 offensive plays after a New Lex turnover, and they go backwards a couple yards, and it means 4th down and 12. And with the conditions on the field, it's a long 38-yard field goal, or you go for it.
They're going to go for it all the way here. No kicker coming out. Very impressed with the Panther defense. That sudden change, it's a lot of times your defense, they're not ready to play because they're on offense. And all of a sudden, one bad snap, and now they're on the field. They've done a great job. -2 yards in 3 plays.
4 receivers, trips, bunched tightly to the left, middle of the field pass, and it's knocked down by the New Lexington defense at the 10-yard line. That'll turn the Raiders over on their first offensive possession on downs.
Outstanding defensive effort that time. Harrison Ratliff knocked that ball down. Ball was behind the receiver. Had Harrison not knocked it down, I think we just would have fallen harmlessly to the ground. Great defensive stand by the Panthers that time, Hank.
2-time letter winner in Ratliff, junior, 5'9", 170-pounder from the inside linebacker position there to, like you said, knock it down. And the Panthers will get the ball back, so they avoid a disaster here at the start after a turnover. They'll start at their own 21-yard line with 3 receivers, 2 to the left side. Raiders nearly jumped on the defensive end side on the right.
No call.
Back shifts from right to left in the backfield beside Stevens. Stevens quick throw, and it's dropped at the 20-yard line through the mitts. Intended target, Tyson Spicer. Spicer, what a game last week. 122 yards led the receiving crew in yardage.
He was lightning in a jar. Now we have lightning in the sky, so hopefully it won't come back. Next time he'll catch that ball.
Steady rain.
Perfect pass.
Couple minutes into this one, you see 9:38 showing on your clock. Opening quarter. Late start to this one. Just started minutes ago. Back to pass. Stevens looking, rolling right, stops on a dime, then goes forward as he jitterbugs between a pair of Raider defenders, and he'll trickle out of bounds with help by Morgan at about the 26-yard line. Pickup goes for about 5. It's going to set up a manageable 3rd down situation.
Bradley Spencer maintained a pretty good leverage that time with that play. Isaiah broke the line of scrimmage, picked up about 4 or 5 yards, but Spencer made a nice tackle on that.
Here you go, spread the field, Doug. 5 receivers, 3 to the left, 2 to the right.
Well, this is a good time for Isaiah to take off if they don't keep a spy on him.
Stevens, 3-step drop, quick pass, middle field, got his man on the slant, and it's Spicer, 1st down, New Lexington. Their first down and the first down of the game.
2 wide receivers ran deep patterns, and that was that Spicer. Spicer just made a slant route underneath those guys, a deep slant for the 1st down. Great execution, great call by Coach Board.
So New Lexington quickly up the line of scrimmage to run this next play. And cutting back to the left inside the 40 to the 41, 3 yards out of nothing.
That might be the best 3-yard run in his life. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage, and I thought he was going to go down. I mean, he was wrapped up. He just broke free. Nice job that time. Nice run. That Carson Kellogg on that carry.
Carson Kellogg definitely got that tote. He's going to get it again around the left end on a sweeper inside the 45 to about the 47 or 48-yard line. Depending upon the spot, could be another 1st down.
Well, Morgan's defense is getting penetration across the line of scrimmage, but they're taking a poor angle. They're chasing a guy like he's a scout team back with not much speed, and they better adjust quickly because they won't be touching anybody in that case.
Again, field spread with the receivers. So Stevens takes the direct snap. He'll run with it, calling his own number first time tonight as he gets into Morgan territory to the 45-yard line. So another 7 yards this time on the legs of Stevens.
I think 58 is really number 59. Malachi Thresher, he had a nice block that time to spring Stevens for the 1st down, or close to the 1st down.
Panthers now on the move. 2nd offensive possession, turned it over on a fumble early in the game, just 22 seconds in. Didn't cost them any points, however. We're still in a scoreless battle. Man in motion, left to right, little shift out of the gun, fake, quick pass, and incomplete. Ball a little bit low. The intended target would have been close to a first down.
Talon Schwindeman just kind of, I think he ran before he caught it, Hank. He was open. That would have been a first down had he brought that ball in.
Schwindeman, a tight end listed for this team. Very good target amongst all the weaponry that New Lexington has at wide receiver, and with Kellogg in the backfield, and of course Stevens setting the tables as the signal caller.
Historically, Morgan is always fields one of the faster teams in this conference. But I can tell you right now, they don't have the jets to keep up with these kids from New Lex. They're getting outrun at the point of attack. Right there is another good example.
Third down conversion. Look out, Stevens. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 30 of Morgan to the 29. So this drive started throwing 21-yard line after turning the Morgan Raiders over on downs. And here they come matriculating down the field. Big conversion.
Hard to stop a team that's matriculating.
Yeah. This drive is now gone for 50 yards. Can New Lexington cap it off with points? 7:41 to go, opening quarter. Late start to this one due to weather delay. We have movement here. It'll be a late start on the next snap.
You know, I'm looking at the alignment out there on the far side, and they have a corner man. He's on the widest receiver, and he's probably 7 to 8 yards deep. The guy on the inside receiver, he's a good 10 or 15 yards deep. I mean, he's way back. All they have to do is throw the ball out to one of those guys, and there's no one there.
So they'll back up 5 yards. 34-yard line with that 5-yard infraction. The nose guard nearly bumped helmets.
Coach Board is a little upset about that, no call. I would be too.
And we're back to action with a live snap and a quick pass to the right. And it's a running back slipping out of there, and Kellogg catching that one, and he scoots forward to the 25 near the 24. So New Lexington gets some good yardage back there on first and long.
New Lex had 3 wide receivers over there. They all ran basically what we call running off the defense, and there's no one there to defend the open receiver. Great call, great design.
Kellogg is one of those guys. He ran for over 600 yards last year, also caught for over 500 yards out of the backfield. He is a receiving back and a weapon as well for Stevens when he wants to throw it. And you have 5 receivers, 4 to the right. Kellogg is into the slot left. It's going to be a Stevens keeper as they try to keep that Morgan Raider defense spread out. And he gets good yards and a first down.
That's a great call on your part, Hank. You're exactly right. They have big splits. They have 3 men on the defensive line, and the linebackers are 5 yards deep. I mean, you're just inviting Isaiah to go up there and pick a spot to run. Great job by the offensive line for the Panthers. Great job.
Stevens very multi-dimensional. You're seeing it with his legs again here tonight. Last week as well, and so far here early in this year through 3 games as the Panthers look to go to 3-0 if they can come out on top tonight at home. Same look, 5 receivers, 4 to the left, quick pass, looking for that wide receiver screen, got blocks up there, but not much real estate. Able to pick up about 7, though, in the end on the play.
That's right. I mean, that's just a glorified running play. Nice pickup, nice safe throw. No one can knock that ball down. Get a couple blocks from your fellow wide receivers, and you're going to pick up yardage.
Spicer again with that catch. He's off to a hot start. They're looking his way. 2nd down 3 at the Raider 11. And Stevens fakes to Kellogg, gets a block from Kellogg and his line to pick up what appears to be another first down and wouldn't make it 1st and goal.
Well, I saw a Morgan defender was right there. He read the play. He saw Isaiah all the way, and he went to make the tackle, but Isaiah wasn't there anymore. He's an elusive runner.
5 more yards for Stevens with the wheels. 1st and goal to mark it at the 6-yard line as the Panthers look to strike first as we crested across the midway point of our opening quarter.
It looks like a 5-foot split between the right guard and the center. That's the biggest split I've ever seen on an offensive line in my life.
5:35 and counting here in the first. Motion, handoff, right side, shooting in, trying to get near that goal line, just short at about the 1.5. That was Bentley Hansen, first touch. First time we called his name tonight. You're going to hear a lot of him once again. Another big game last week, 2 touchdowns for Hansen, 1 receiving and 1 where he pounced on a fumble in the end zone for a 2nd score.
Well, Hank, from a defensive coach's standpoint, the Panther offense is a nightmare. There's so many talented kids that can carry the ball, catch the ball, run the ball. The quarterback's a playmaker on every snap. Look at this formation.
Kellogg, the deep back.
I was going to say they can't snap the ball because they had 5 guys in the back, so now they've shifted.
Stevens, Kellogg splashes in and bangs it in for the score. Carson has got New Lexington on the board at the 4:48 mark of the first quarter. That caps off a long 79-yard drive that was smoothly done by the home team.
Well, the thing that has impressed me so much already, Hank, is the poise of the Panther team. They had a turnover on their first possession, gave the ball up about the 20-yard line. Their defense went out, and Morgan ended up losing 3 yards on 4 plays. They get the ball back at the 21. They march down the field methodically without a mistake. Great execution. And now they're going for 2.
Rain could be a factor, but the Panthers also don't mind trying to, whether it's wet or dry. Here we go. A pass off the handoff into the middle of the end zone. Is it caught? It is. 2-point conversion has been completed, and the Panthers go up 8-0 at the start of this one.
Well, you have everything except a little car with about 75 clowns climbing out of it, you know. What a play.
So Carson Kellogg bangs in the touchdown. 2-point conversion good. You'll see the replay on your screen here on South 60 Films. Well, actually, first off, that's the Kellogg run. Maybe we'll get you the 2-pointer regardless. It was a handoff to one of the backs right here who comes over from left to right.
Because I didn't even see who caught the ball.
Here's your snap. And Stevens hands that one off. And the 2-point was converted on this pass.
No, right there. Oh, there it is. Okay. In the back of the end zone. Nice read by that was number 11 throwing the ball. Owen O'Brien. What a nice read. His intended receiver was covered. Had a little patience. Waited for the guy in the back of the end zone to clear it. Put it right on the money.
Schwinneman caught the 2-pointer to make it 8-0.
So here you're Morgan. So your game plan is to run the power I offense. Hold New Lex offense in check. Well, so far, they haven't been able to check off either one of those boxes. So we'll have to see what they come out with here in their second possession, because I don't think the power I right now is going to be the offense of the night. Okay, here we go. Trickery and deception in the kicking game. That Panther kickoff. Whoop. Nope.
Little trickeration here.
It was.
Per usual with New Lexington. We just saw him just last week for the first
Look out.
time.
Oh, look at that.
Small boot inside the Morgan 37, then downed at the 34-yard line where they'll just secure the football there.
So the kicker walked to the sideline like he was going to talk to the coach and had his hands up, and then one of the guys on the kickoff team run up and they just pooch kicked that little down. I'm telling you now.
Expect the unexpected.
I think Coach Board might have a novel in the making here, just how to trick people on the kickoff. Okay, let's see what Morgan comes out in.
First down and 10 for this Raider offense. You know, first time they went backwards a couple of yards and didn't get any points, and it was a golden opportunity as the Morgan defense got a fumble at the 19 of New Lexington.
Double tight end formation, offset I, flanker in motion to the far side.
Going to be a handoff. Tanner Bankus busy early and being dropped again without positive yardage. This New Lexington Panther defense has come out ready to play at the outset.
So I think what we're going to see tonight is I think the Panthers are going to prove that they're for real. You know, they've won a couple of games against two teams that I don't think had chalked up a victory yet. And tonight they are absolutely stifling the Raiders. Unless the Raiders come up with something here soon, they haven't gained a yard yet. In fact, they're in negative yards for the night.
2nd and 11, lost the one that time. Back to Bankus, and Tanner tripped up again before he could get any positive momentum. No gain on that second down carry.
They have not gained a positive yard tonight.
Well, Morgan's off to this 0-2 start. We didn't have a chance to set the tables with a pregame like we usually would due to the weather delay tonight. Morgan's trying to avoid a 0-3 start for the first time in 5 years since 2019. Not off to a good start here. New Lexington trying to go to 3-0 for the first time in a couple years back in 2022 when they started 4-0. Here's the pass. He throws. It's connected well short of the first down, however. Gain only picks up about 4 yards.
Boy, he threw that under great duress. He was being chased all the way across the field. Through that, he was being tackled. It's still going to be 4th down.
They'll give him About 5 up to the 39 officially.
I saw them practice one punt snap in pregame, and the ball hit the crossbar on the snap, way over the punter's head. See if he has this corrected yet.
Nobody back deep, and now dropping back is Spicer at his own 30.
Oh,
Off
no.
the side of the foot. This is a poor kick on the New Lexington side of the field, and it's going to stop dead at the New Lexington 43-yard line. Punt will only go for 18 yards, Doug.
Well, you know, the old saying, when it rains, it pours. Well, it's already done that. And
it sure has.
For Morgan, the Raiders haven't had anything go right yet. They recovered a fumble. They should have picked up and ran in for a touchdown, and they didn't. They haven't gained that pass play was their first positive yards of the night. So I think they have a total of maybe 6 yards offense in 2 possessions. And on defense, and the Panthers shredded them on their last drive.
Far cry from last year's game. Talk more about that here in a moment after your first down play. Fake by Stevens, looking deep, left sideline, and actually middle of the field with that pass. And there's interference down there at about the 15-yard line of Morgan, and that will be an automatic first down for New Lexington.
Well, that's a good call. The defensive back, he did what you teach defensive backs to do. If you're beaten deep, and the guy's going to catch the ball, don't let him catch it. It's not a spot foul like in the NFL. It's 15 yards. We have to line up, play again. That was definitely an interference.
Trying that senior connection, Stevens to Hansen. Hansen was interfered with. They'll march it to the Morgan 41-yard line. Far cry from last year. These two teams did play here at The Rock on September 29th, so about a year ago. Raiders won that game, 35-28 in a shootout. These two teams usually play a lot of shootouts against one another. Logan Nicesonger rushed for 268 yards on 33 carries and 4 touchdowns. He's no longer with the Raiders, though. He graduated. New Lexington will shift their offensive formation here on first down at the Raider 41 with a new set of downs after the interference. It's a pitch coming from left to right and getting it. Here goes Spicer. Spicy running in 30, 25, 20 inside the red zone at the 19 for Spicer.
Boy, I tell you, I like that kid. I like the way he runs that football. It's like he stole it. Doesn't want to get caught.
Picture perfect. Let's say not picture perfect. Picture perfect on that pitch.
No doubt.
And the rest was Spicer with that run of his. He's got some jets. First and 10 at the 19. It's a fake to Kellogg. It's Stevens around the right end. Look out! Shot out of the cannon. Touchdown, Stevens! Isaiah has now made it a 2-score lead for New Lexington with $1:42 left to go in the first quarter.
I do believe Isaiah read that handoff. He read that the defense was going to tackle the running back. He pulled the ball out, and there was no one there to stop him. And he turned on the jets, and it was over.
One more look. Doug, you blink, he's gone on this play. Nobody really touched Isaiah as he crosses pay dirt. And it's 14-0 New Lexington as we wait to see what the special teams brings this go around.
Well, we were short a guy. Now they're going to come in here. Looks like they're going to kick the ball. Tristan Behrman on the setup here.
So this is a chance to make it 15-0 in favor of New Lex. There's the snap, the hold, the kick. Are all three true? It is. Plenty of leg and right between the pipes. 15-0 New Lexington now, up 2 scores here late in the first quarter as they go 56 yards on that scoring march, capped off by the 19-yard run by Stevens as they're hitting on all cylinders as we move along to week 3. And New Lexington's got to keep this up as this season moves along, especially in the next 2 weeks, coming up with West End and Tri-Valley on the docket.
Well, I saw West End knocked off Licking Valley last week. I was stunned.
Yeah. Impressive win for West End overtime.
Yeah, because they took care of the Sheridan Generals pretty well in week 1. So West End's for real. They weren't obviously not a one-man team from last year when Rashad Cisse graduated. They do a great job up there now. They've done some great coaching. They're for real. But so are the Panthers.
Oh, absolutely. Nate Brownrigg has done an impressive job at West End. Can't say enough about him. We've seen and called plenty of games over the last several years with them.
Yep.
But, yeah, there's no Cisse, but West End will be a handful. That's what New Lexington's going to be playing next week on the road at Whirlwind Stadium, a game that we'll have. It's a game of the week on Fox 5. Tune in for that. Replay on Saturday morning next week. That will be for the, you would think, this small school division championship between those two. Early in the season, here we go with a onside kick, so to speak. A dribbler. Did New Lexington come up with it? They appear to have, Doug. Yes. 41-yard line. They get it in Morgan territory. Wheels falling off the bus for the Raiders.
I tell you what, everything New Lex has touched tonight has been gold since that opening fumble in their first series. I mean, everything else has just been perfect. You know, Coach Board is, he's not your Woody Hayes product.
No.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we saw another pass down the field. I mean, it might be one of the little short deals here, but well, this is the perfect time to uncork a big one.
We'll see if there's pedal to the metal here on
Yes.
first down. If they can get the play off. First off, whistles, timeout. Raiders as we continue to play in a steady rain. Lots of thunder and lightning intermittently early on that made this kick start at 8:20 roughly Eastern time, an hour and 20 minutes past the 7 o'clock scheduled kickoff as usual.
That might be Coach Brown's best call of the night, this timeout, because his team has to go out now. They're expecting to be on offense, and now they're lined up on defense again. They haven't stopped New Lex yet, except for the opening drive when New Lex threw the ball away on a fumble. And so this is a great time to call timeout, because if they go up 3 touchdowns, it's going to be a tough row to hoe for the Raiders.
We mentioned next week we'll have the MVL Small School Championship, you could say, here early in the season between these New Lexington Panthers and West Muskingum. You see it right there on your screen. Pre-game 6:45, 7 o'clock kick, replay Fox 5. The 21st Century program at New Lexington High School. Call the high school today to enroll. So we want to make sure to get our readers in for a brief moment as well, like we should each and every week that you and I are calling home games. Next home game for us, Doug, looks like won't be for a while for you and I.
Well,
in 2 weeks, you're going to be gone.
I'm going to be at the Wilmington College homecoming game. My brother's being inducted into the school's Athletic Hall of Fame.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
So,
congratulations.
There might be a free cheeseburger in it for me, so I'm not taking a chance on missing that.
Spicer on the first down run, and 2 weeks from now, we'll be back here streaming live New Lexington football. We know West End is the game next week at West End, but we're calling home games here streaming on South 60 Films. Tri-Valley comes to town in 2 weeks. Ted Snyder will be calling the game with me then. Looking forward to it, even though you're gone. Here we go with Kellogg ripping off a big first down run on 2nd and 6.
And he wasn't touched by anybody until he was tackled. I mean, he went through the line of scrimmage unscathed.
So much so, Kellogg and the New Lexington offense is banging on the red zone door again, just outside the 20 at the 22 with a 1st and 10. 15-yard run for Kellogg there. They go back to the ground game. Kellogg lost his footing with the slippery turf here at the Rock.
The Panthers have gone to an unbalanced line set. They have 3 linemen, guard, tackle, that time to the left side, and a split end on the line, so they run balanced. Now they're back in a balanced formation with no tight end.
4 receivers, 2 each direction. Kellogg remains the back to the right of Stevens.
Look how deep the secondary is. They're just absolutely just terrified they're going to get beat deep.
Kellogg, though, gets the carry. Nowhere to go. Ankle tackled after maybe a yard gain.
Best defensive play of the night for Morgan. That was made by Mason Brown, Jr., 6 foot, 210. Nice play. Good tackle.
Could be your final play, and probably is your final play of this opening quarter as the final seconds tick off here in New Lex at Jim Rockwell Stadium. 1 quarter, 12 minutes in the books. New Lexington up big early with 2 scores, 15-0 after 1. We'll step aside for our sponsors at a break. Give you a chance to get a breather as well. Second quarter action back after this. Back here in New Lexington, Jim Rockwell Stadium. I'm Hank F. along with Doug Clifford. Starting the second quarter now, 15-0 New Lexington, and they're knocking on the door for another score as they face a third down and long, and down goes Stevens, dropped for a loss as the Raiders defense starts strong in this heavy rain that seems to not let up as we continue to move along tonight.
Devin Waggy on that tackle, nice play. Minus yardage play first time, I think, since the opening drive. Well, the rain's coming down harder than it has all night.
And 273 yards each and 4 touchdown passes each week as he continues to impress. Right now, his team's on defense. Morgan on offense, trying to go up the field.
Look out.
At this, slippery sliding, getting off defenders, down the sideline. Look at his speed all the way down inside the New Lexington 30-yard line as the Raiders get a big hitter of about 50 yards.
Quarterback keep all the way. Hayden Pauley kept that thing. There's no doubt in the world what that was going to be. He never made a motion to throw it at all and just took off. Great blocking on that right side by the Raiders. And this is by far their deepest penetration of the night, their biggest gain of the night.
Yeah, they'll mark it at the 32. So when we do the math, 38 yards on that run for Hayden Pauley.
Well, look at their formation. Trips here to the near side. They're going to run that thing at the middle.
Pauley hands it off. Running's been tough for them. Between the tackles, only 2 yards though, positive play this time if you want to take a positive out of it.
Whenever you ask Coach Board what's the key to the game, his first answer is always the same: win the line of scrimmage. And right now, the Panthers, they've been winning the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and they definitely won it on that one.
2nd down, 8, big possession for this Raider offense. They want to try to make it a 1-score game if they could punch something in.
Play being signaled in from the Raiders sideline.
You have 4 receivers, 2 each direction, 1 lone back, and Tanner Bankus.
Not this time.
And that's a loss as Hayden Pauley is dropped at about the 36-yard line.
Well, that's another 53. And the Panthers don't have a 53. Thank you, Ray. Ray Hayden just said that's Nicholas Finley on the tackle that time, number 53. And he just didn't drop him. It's a good thing the field is AstroTurf. That had it been a grass and mud field, Pauley
might not be able to see between the masks.
Yeah, he'd had to get a new helmet.
And as always, we thank the guys up here in the press box up above where we were at. 3rd and 14, looking to pass. It's a dump off, and it's another loss on the play with a completion to Tanner Bankus from Pauley.
Middle screen, that's one of the original sucker plays in football, and the Panther defense is having none of it. I think that was number 22 on the tackle, Tanner Toth. But they were not fooled at all. Had pressure on the quarterback, had the receiver swarmed over. Nice play.
Panther defense rose up these last 2 plays.
Yes, they have.
And that makes it 4th and 16 for Morgan. No man's territory at the New Lexington 38-yard line. So punt's not an option, it looks like, here down 15.
Yeah, I think I'd punt the thing away.
Well, let's see. They're going to go for it. Out of the gun, Pauley down the sidelines, one-on-one, jump ball, and knocked down. Good defense, one-on-one coverage over there at about the 15.
Hansen. We talked about Bentley for his offensive prowess, but that time he made a great defensive play. He had the receiver covered all the way, went up, played the ball, didn't touch the receiver. Nice job. Great execution on defense by Bentley Hansen.
Big hole by New Lexington. They forced Morgan to turn the ball over on downs now for a 2nd time in the half.
Well, that was Morgan's first ray of sunshine. They go down and get a touchdown on that drive. It's a 1-score game. Now it's pouring down rain. They've used up a lot of clock. 8:42 left in the first half, and they're still down 2 touchdowns, and the Panthers had the ball.
And you're the Raiders. Your backs remain against the wall for first-year head man Seth Brown.
We may have to break out the rowboats.
Who would have thought you go from a drought 1 week and 100 degrees to under 70 degrees and trying to find our way out of here without being flooded out in New Lex?
Well, every time I think the rain's going to, and that's about as hard as it's been, it kicks up another notch. It just kicked up another notch. It's really coming down. Great play by the Morgan defense that time.
As the Panthers only run it around the left side for a yard, nearing the 8-minute mark left in our first half.
Yeah, the Raider defense has kind of played a lot better here the last two series. If they can hold these guys to 3 plays and out.
Big gaping hole for Kellogg, Doug. That's double-digit running into Morgan territory for another Panther first down.
You know, just when you think this offense is all finesse and speed, they run something right up the pipe. And that offensive line, I wrote the guys' names down. They're doing a great job. Bodie Decor at left tackle, Alberto Budges at left guard, Eli Stevens at center, Colton Toner at right guard, and Malachi Thresher at right tackle. They are clearing the way for the running backs and protecting the quarterback extremely well tonight.
Just got a radar update weather report from up here in the press box from one of the New Lexington zones. Again, Ray again, showing us there's no clearing as far as that is concerned. So when it rains, it pours. It looks like we might be in for the long haul and have to wring ourselves out when this one ends.
I think it's rained one day out of the last 118 days, and here we are.
Making up for it. Huh?
No lightning, though.
Penalty is going to be assessed on the Panthers, 5-yard infraction. First and 15.
First and 15. See if the Raider defense can take advantage of that penalty. Oh, 3 guys shift from the left to the right for the Panthers.
Oh, now send everybody over there as Kellogg comes from left to right, and he lost it, and Stevens is able to pick it up. And not by design, but look out for Isaiah here as he's got positive yardage over into Morgan territory again.
You know, I can't get over the poor angles the Raider defense is taking on these running backs and on Isaiah, the quarterback. I mean, these guys they have a lot of speed, and they're just taking angles. They're running right at him instead of, using that sideline to cut him off. Man, that should have been a 10-yard loss, and it was a, 8-yard gain?
8-yard gain. Up to the 45 of the Raiders. Second down, 7. Stevens hands it off Kellogg. Kellogg up to shoot, and he shoots past the 40 to the 39, tripped up about a yard shy of that first down. Kellogg continues an impressive first half here, rushing the football for New Lex.
Well, I tell you what else is impressive is it's raining like crazy here. Coach Board's just taking the air out of the football and says, that's okay, we'll run it right up the middle on you. And they're doing it well.
You would think 3rd and 1 would be a running situation for most clubs. Coach Board, you never know. Let's see if he sticks to it. Long snap count. Out of the gun. Back to Kellogg it goes. Easy first down run if he can secure it. New Lexington will be inside the 30, and he is for 10 yards as he did the tough running, banging forward for additional yards at the end of the play.
I saw Eli Stevens, the center, point to the backside inside linebacker, telling his lineman buddies, I got the linebacker, you block the nose man. And that's exactly what he did, and that block that he threw was responsible for that run being that far because he cut off the backside pursuit. There's no one there to make the tackle.
So here we go. Nearing the midway point, quarter 2. Halftime looming around the corner. 2-score lead, 15-0 New Lexington. All their damage done in the opening quarter. They look to put one on the board here in the second. Late stages. It's a fake. Stevens faking to Kellogg, looking to run left side. Down he goes for only a yard.
Finally. Great angle that time taken by number 80 for the Morgan Raiders, Shane Harney. Stevens realized he wasn't going to be able to get outside of him. He tried to cut it back. He maintained good leverage on defense. Shane made a great tackle for a gain of 1. Nice play that time.
2nd and 9. Getting New Lex on the move, spreading the field. 4 receivers right side, 1 lone receiver to the left. Stevens remains out of shotgun. Panthers 3 down linemen, 5 DBs. Long snap count, using a lot of clock here before calling this 2nd down play. Quick pass, wide receiver screen, Spicer dropped it. 2nd time Spicer's at least done it in this half for the dangerous one in Tyson.
That looked very similar to the play that Spicer caught it on the last play of the half last week and went for 60 yards for a score. So, I mean, that's, to me, that when they send that many receivers to one side, you could almost bet money that they're going to throw a quick screen to one of those wide receivers and the other guys are going to be blockers.
It was a 60-yarder to Spicer last week you're referring to late in the second. Putting New Lex up 37-12 on Philo. as they ended up winning. And look at this. Was that a catch made down low? It was, they say, by Schwinnerman. About a yard shy inside the 20.
Back in the day, it would have been called a tight end dump pass, a little play action, quick throw to him. Stevens going to go for the first down here.
4th and inches. Stevens with ease as he slides on his knees for additional yards on the turf for dramatic effect. Panthers will move the sticks. Under 5 minutes to go in the half as New Lexington works it down the field. 5 wide, 3 to the right, short side of the field. 2 to the left. Stevens looked like he was going to run, and it's nearly picked off. Oh, what a read by the Morgan defense. That was Hayden Bankus, the junior, nearly with a pick 6.
Well, that's I've been waiting for someone to do that. Philo never did it. They didn't make a run, a play like that at all. But what Coach Board sees, he says, okay, do that. We'll throw the ball to the guy who's in the end zone. So we'll see.
So let's see if they'll go more vertical with the passing here. Pump fake.
There it is.
Vertical pass, middle of the field. Good defense. Knocked down at the left mitt by the DB.
Arlis Ponchak, nice play. Great defense by the Raiders. I mean, it was like it's like those both head coaches had their earphones on and could hear us talk. That's exactly what Coach Board called. They faked the quick screen to the outside receiver and threw the ball over the deep middle. Arlis was there. Arlis Ponchak, junior, knocked that thing down at about the 2-yard line. 3rd and 10.
So let's see what New Lexington dials up on 3rd and long. In motion right to left. Running Stevens, left side of the line, and he gets inside the 10. It's going to be 4th down. He's got about half the yards needed for a first.
Well, that time they shifted Malachi Thresher from his right tackle spot, and he was the extra lineman on the left side, and they ran that way to get a little extra blocking. The Raiders met the challenge. It still was a gain of 5.
4th down and 5, they will go for it. Got to get to the Raider 4-yard line as this is hugging near the 9. 5 receivers. Again, the same look as we've seen on the last several plays. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Stevens looks over to Coach Board for the snap call.
It's not only raining. We get a good bit of wind right now too, Hank.
We're in for a dramatic change in temperature this weekend, aren't we? Here we go. 4th down. Stevens flush to the right.
He's going to run.
He's got green turf. He'll pass. Incomplete. He might have had a touchdown, and he probably would have had a touchdown, but he passed it incomplete, and they'll turn it over.
We had a game back in the day against Philo, and our quarterback could have ran in on a 2-point play, and he threw it. It was incomplete, and we lost 7-6.
Oh,
so,
it's a bone crusher in that
man.
one for you
That's
to experience Heartache Hotel.
I'm having flashbacks now.
In this case, New Lex still is up 15, but what could have been more?
Their linebackers have walked up tight. I think they're going to pressure the Raiders here.
Whistles, clock stop, 3:50 to go with a TO on the field. Timeout Raiders and Coach Seth Brown.
Coach Seth Brown's a little frustrated. Somebody didn't see something, and he's explaining you have to pay attention. As my old coach used to tell me, nobody's too poor to pay attention, Clifford. Thanks, Coach.
We have this moment with the timeout on the field nearing the end of this first half. The 21st Century program at New Lexington High School. Make sure to call the high school today to enroll. And obviously here, home in New Lexington, home football games that you and I will be streaming. Ted will fill in a couple weeks. Look forward to having him as you do your thing, family-wise. South 60 Films, the official streaming partner in New Lexington Athletics. Next week we will have the MVL Small School Championship, you could say, between the West Muskingum Tornadoes and these New Lexington Panthers, Fox 5. And it will be next Friday to be watched on television, not streamed. Tornadoes, Panthers, that should be a doozy. 2 weeks from now, we'll be back here calling. Ted Snyder will join myself for the Scotties of Tri-Valley and the New Lexington Panthers. Look forward to that one. Could also be the game of the year. Here we go, back to action, Doug, and a big loss on the play as the Raiders just avoid a 2-point safety.
I think that was a blown play by the Raider offense, and the quarterback tried to make something out of nothing. Hayden Pauly tried to do something, but he's lucky he didn't go back a little further. That would have been a 2 for the defense. Ball is on the 2.
Loss of 7 as they took possession over at the 9-yard line. Just trying to get breathing room. Run play stacked up, and the Lion able to keep the running back out of the end zone.
Well, before Seth Brown for Morgan called timeout, the Panther inside linebackers were walked up almost right on the line of scrimmage. He called timeout on second down, and then when they ran the play on first down, they were backed off. Well, that time they were up tight again. I mean, they're definitely trying to push the Raiders into the end zone here.
So 3rd down and 17, backs against the wall, high formation look in the backfield.
Linebackers are back off the line now.
Actually 3 backs. Quarterback under center, handoff, right end, and able to get a few yards for a better punt opportunity for 3 out to the 5. Let's see if Coach Board takes that TO. He does.
I'll tell you what, Coach Board is top flight coach. I mean, that was perfect timing. Great deal. Great job by the defense. Calls timeout, gives his offense 2 minutes and 26 seconds here to operate. You know, I think, didn't they block a punt last week?
Yeah.
This would be a great opportunity to do that too, because the punter is going to be standing near the back of the end line. Ball's on the 5-yard line. He's going to be within a couple yards of that back end line.
So we'll see if the Panthers will come after the punter.
But
Golden opportunity to add to their 15-point lead with just over 2 to go.
Another strategy here, instead of going for the block, is you try to hold up the offensive line. You try to keep them on the line of scrimmage with your defensive line, and it gives your return man a chance to run the ball. And look who's deep. 18.
Tyson Spicer.
I think he could catch a Volkswagen and run it in the end zone.
He's standing at the Morgan 40 as he awaits to get going.
If he steps back an inch, there he goes. Now he's moving up. I was going to say, man.
After the timeout,
we
have movement. That'll stop things. They'll do it again.
And I'm telling you, 54 for New Lexington was right there. Who is that guy? Johnny Robinson. He was right there at the punter's toe.
So half the distance to the goal. Doesn't get much further than the goal line here with another penalty, does it?
I'll tell you what.
Hugging.
Coach Seth Brown from Oregon is going to think he's playing the New Lexington Rattlesnakes because he's been snake bitten since they got here. Whoa.
Here they come. Nearly blocked, and he got away. A great kick. Driving Spicer back to the 44. He put it on the ground. Able to scoop it up at the 46. Looks for blocks. Whoop. He goes right, back left. Tries to go right. Nowhere to go for Spicer as Morgan's got him for a loss at the 47 or 8-yard line.
That's what you call your equal opportunity return. You gave everybody on the Morgan defense a chance to hit him.
Great special teams coverage by the Raiders.
Great coverage.
On the flip side, Seth Brown got to be very happy. You were pinned at the 2.
Oh, my, yes.
The punt. Trying to stay afloat. Neither team has scored in the second quarter. A 15-0 New Lexington lead. They've got a pretty good stranglehold on this game. But you would think it would be more than 15 points, though, the way it feels.
Well, the way the New Lex Panthers started, those 2 consecutive drives for scores, that basically everything they touched was perfect. The execution was great. The Raider defense is kind of stiffened on them here. Conditions got a little tough. It was pouring down rain. Well, the rain hasn't stopped, but it's not as bad as it was 10 or 15 minutes ago.
So if there is a silver lining, it has led up for the New Lexington offense here to operate basically the 2-minute drill. With 2:10 to go, they got to go 47 yards. Here's a fake, looking deep, corking it, middle of the field. The Raiders are there in coverage with a pair of guys, and it falls shy of Hanson at the 10 for number 10.
You know, Isaiah's got to throw that ball sooner. He's waiting until the receiver gets open, and you get to throw it where he's going to be open. And he's just holding on to it just a little too long. That was just about at the farthest reach of his arm strength right there. He throws that ball a second and a half sooner, and it might be a touchdown.
So 2nd and 10, 2:02 left on our first half clock. Back to the ground game. Right side, Kellogg tripped up where he had a lot more coming at about the 38-yard line of Morgan.
Great blocking at the point of attack. And he was tackled by a shoestring that time.
Put that knee down at the 39, so it'll be about 2 yards short on a 3rd down call coming.
Well, now they've gone heavy here to the right side. They brought number 70, I think that's Decor, Bodie Decor, over to the right side. That means they're usually going to run that way, and they do.
Kellogg picks it up with ease, and he gets 8 more tough yards to the 31, temporarily stopping the clock to move the 6 with a $1:26 to go in the half.
Well, they got Malachi Thresher next to Bodie Decor, number 70. Bodie's 200 pounds. Malachi's 240 or so. That's some pretty good blocking there. Here we go again, same formation.
Yeah, Panthers on the move again. Could not score last time when they got inside the red zone to the Morgan 9. Turnover on downs. Looking to cash in this go-around. Stevens to the right, looking downfield, throws his head. He's got Kellogg, and he's at the 15-10, and can he stay in? Touchdown, let's check it, yes! Carson Kellogg, 31 yards on the receiving end as he slipped out for the score.
Well, Coach Board shows up in that running formation, unbalanced to the right again. Play action fake. Isaiah finds the open man.
Took about 5 seconds. How many Mississippis? Didn't matter.
I saw at least 2 defensive backs step forward on that play, and that's all it took.
Receivers were covered downfield. They forgot about Kellogg slipping across. So Kellogg makes Morgan pay, 21-0. Minute 4 left to go until halftime. Extra point pending. The boot is on the way, and good again. 2 for 2 on PATs, and 22-0 now New Lexington.
Well, on top of everything else, New Lex has a quality place kicker in Behrman. That guy puts them through there. So great job by the offensive line. I saw one of the offensive linemen for the Panthers knock his man down and then jump on him. Maybe he was afraid he was going to escape. Great blocking, great protection. Although Stevens did get hit as he threw the ball. But that's a long time for that play to develop.
Carson Kellogg, his second touchdown of the night. This one the receiving end, 31 yards. 2-yard touchdown run back in the first quarter. Got the scoring started here tonight. So Kellogg off to an impressive opening half. He had 105 yards on 14 carries last week we saw in the win over Philo. I mean, he brings a great complement to this passing game that spreads you out.
No doubt. Well, here's what you're thinking. If you're on the Morgan sideline, you stop New Lex's offense, you're down 2 touchdowns, you had your biggest play of the night, a 38-yard quarterback run, you're in their territory, and you're thinking, just punch this thing across. And now, New Lex turned your mistake into points. It's 22-0 now. That's tough. That's tough to take.
Oh, how things and forces can change rather quickly.
Yes.
Here on the gridiron.
It just did for go here in the half, Hank. I'm sorry, a minute to go. Yeah, it's demoralizing if you're on the Morgan sideline.
Well, let's see if the Raiders can get some sort of good return on this line drive kick fielded at the 22-yard line, past the 30, and about 11 yards out to about the 33-yard line on the run back. And that's where the Raiders will have to operate with just 60 ticks on the clock.
Great coverage that time. Colton Mathias, holy cow, freshman on the tackle.
Bradley Spencer was the return man, number 34 for Morgan. And they have to go 67 yards to get off the schneid and get the goose egg off the board.
You know, when you're a special teams player and that's all you get to do, you take great pride in making that tackle. That's a nice job that time.
They'll go 4 receivers on first down, 3 to the right. One lone back, and Tanner Bankus. Here's pressure, and shooting through it. Nearly sacked was Pauly. Instead, he fires on the run and got a connection shy of the 40.
Now, Pauly got a great block, a nice shove. Back in the day, that would have obviously been a penalty, but in today's game, you're allowed to do that. And he pushed that defensive lineman down, and that would have been a sack. Great job of that offensive lineman for Morgan.
6'4", senior wideout, Tavian Myers on the catch, wearing number 6 for the Raiders. He had 2 touchdowns receiving in the loss to Marietta, 13-12 in the opener. His first catch tonight, and how about this? We have flags as Morgan gets big yards via the air over to New Lex territory, but let's check the hanky.
Yeah, it's usually thrown in the area of holding.
As the Raiders try to go down the field here quickly with some quick hitting passes. This one all for naught. 23 seconds, clock stopped. opening half of action here at the Rock. Rainy Rock tonight.
Well, the Raiders have just had no luck whatsoever. They have a big run, then they can't convert another first down. They get stopped. This is their second biggest play of the night. I mean, you know, the quarterback dropped the snap. It was low. He picked it up, threw the ball on target. Play comes back. Now it's 2nd and 14, 2nd and 15.
Could have been all the way near the New Lexington 40. Instead, you're at your own 29 with the 10-yard penalty. And down goes Polly. Yes, it nearly looked like he might escape it the first time, but not on the second one.
You know, Hank, I think that snap rolled all the way back to him. We have to check and see if Paul is a shortstop, because that ball was rolling, and he picked it up cleanly.
And that's going to end your first half, a sack for the New Lexington Panthers of Polly, as we will go to intermission with it. New Lexington 22, and the Morgan Raiders nothing on the South 60 Films Game of the Week, bringing you New Lexington athletics all season long, as the Panthers of New Lex are off to a strong start through one half and a chance to go to 3-0, Doug, while Morgan could fall to 0-3. Quick first half analysis before we flip for a break.
Everything is going right for New Lexington. Their speed, obviously in the early part of the game, the Raiders could not adjust to that. They finally did. But it's the same story as we saw last week. If you make a mistake on these guys, man, it's like throwing gasoline on the fire. New Lex can't wait to get the ball back. And they took that last touchdown down. Now they're ahead 22 points. They get a touchdown and go for 2. It's running clock time again.
Yeah, things looking great for New Lexington as they try to stay undefeated here in 2024. They're on pace to score over 40 for a 3rd consecutive week, and we are only in, well, week 3. That would be each and every week. Panthers up again big at the half. We'll take a break. We'll come back with our first half analysis, more in-depth and highlights here in a little while. As we put 20 minutes on the clock, we'll see you back in about 15. Time for some grub, huh?
Think it'll rain?
What do you think? See if we'll keep that off the film. Like broken cookies on TV or whatever, streaming.
Oh.
Hank Alpman, Doug Clifford back here at New Lexington. Soggy Jim Rockwell Stadium, to say the least here. 22-0. The New Lexington Panthers lead the Morgan Raiders coming into town tonight as New Lexington looks to go to 3-0. Doug and Morgan trying to get off the side with their first win. Looks like 0-3 might be what's happening here tonight. Dominant first half by the Panthers as we roll into the highlights in just a moment.
Well, no doubt about it. The Panthers just dominated the first half. The Raiders had a couple of decent plays, and that's it. Most of the other plays are for a loss or no gain, so their offense hasn't moved the ball at all. Defensively, the Raiders started, their play improved, but the Panthers still came up with a late touchdown in the second quarter. So, they're down 3 touchdowns. They will have the ball first.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some highlights from this first half as we roll some tape of this 22-0 lead for New Lexington before the start of the second half. As Carson Kellogg had 2 first half touchdowns. This was a 2-point conversion after a Carson Kellogg touchdown in the first quarter. That made it 8-0. Schwinneman caught the 2-point pass there for the Panthers. It was all Panthers for the most part.
That was a great drive.
They did have 1 turnover. Didn't cost them. They turned the ball over on downs inside the Morgan 10. Another time couldn't score. This game could be even more out of hand. That actually is another unfortunate replay of the 2-pointer as we cut away now to get ready to start the second half. We'll see if we can work the end of the game highlights for you a little bit better and quicker. It's been one of those nights here as it is with the weather turning like it did with a weather delay to start.
Uh-oh, look out.
Morgan's going to get the ball first here in this half, and they're able to pounce on it at the 40-yard line, but again, it wasn't easy as the Panthers come out with that type of kick.
Well, the Panthers can't kick the ball deep. They don't have the ability to do that. What they do on the kickoff is an absolute headache for their opponents because you never know where it's going to go. They might kick an onside kick. They might kick a little blooper. They might kick it like that time, a hot ground ball. You just never know.
You'll have 3 receivers for the Raiders to start the second half, 2 to the left side. And it's going to be one of those wideouts getting it, coming from left to right. And it's going to be a loss on the play. We have a flag also inside the 30 of Morgan in addition.
That was a long way to run sideways to lose a yard.
That was
great job by the defense.
Junior wideout Hayden Bankus, who's been awfully quiet tonight. Would have lost yards there of a yard. Let's see what happens with the penalty. Going to discuss it. Holding on Morgan.
Panthers are going to decline this thing.
So let's take the loss of the play for a yard. Second 11 for Morgan it will be at their own 34. You're 3 scores down, former head coach you are. 1 possession at a time, obviously, 1 play at a time.
Well, I think what you try to do is what you do best. Try to get 1 score with what you do best before you have to, put the ball in the air. But right now, what they do is run the ball best. They can't do it against the Panthers tonight.
Tanner Bankus dropped at the line of scrimmage at the 34, no gain again. Repeat. Here we go. We have flags.
And he's, I watched him a couple of times. He's really frustrated. He caught the middle screen pass for a loss. He can't get past the line of scrimmage on a carry. That wears on your. That wears on you if you're a running back. I mean, you can't get past the line of scrimmage.
And they did decline the penalty yet again. It was on the Raiders. And so no gain on that one. Lost a yard on first down. It means 3rd and 11 for Morgan's offense out of the shotgun. Pauly looking to pass, rolling left. Down he goes, sacked inside his own 25-yard line. And it'll be 3 plays and a punt for the Raider offense.
Paul Stinson on the sack that time. That's the other thing for the quarterback for Morgan. Hayden Pauly has had very little time to throw the ball when they've tried to, put the ball in the air.
Stenson on the defensive line, 6'1", 200-pounder with the sack. Very explosive there on 3rd down. Is one of those just pin yours and go.
Yep.
4th down and long. Loss of 10. with the sack. 4th and 21, and nearly a block as New Lexington came close. Off this punt, fielded dangerously at the 35.
Look out,
at
look
the
out.
dangerous
Look out.
Tyson Spicer past the 50, 45-40, flag fly, 35-30. He could go all the way. He will. Touchdown New Lexington, but hang on. Markers at the 40-yard line of Morgan might negate a touchdown for Spicer.
Well, there's a big hit back here. Number 10 got picked off by for the Raiders, but I didn't see the flag go down.
So either Morgan goes up 28-0 or this comes back. Too good to be true. Spicer, boy, what explosiveness. The big play at any given moment for him. This one will be taken back. Touchdown wiped off the board on a punt return.
Well, you know, he's one of those kids that he just has an innate sense of when to cut. Where there's pressure starts moving in on him, he makes a cut without losing any speed. You know, he makes a quick cut at full speed, and that's tough for the defenders because you're closing in on him, and all of a sudden he's not there. But that's going to be called back. It's going to be 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Spot of the foul penalty. We'll move it there. Still good field position, but points off the board. And Spicer doesn't have that statistically in the books.
Well, the block back here that I saw on number 10, that was behind the play. There was no need for it. So, you know, you try to convince your kids, never block behind the runner. He's already gone.
1st down and 10. Flags fly immediately after Kellogg got hand-delivered that one as he goes up the middle into Morgan territory.
I think we've had 5 plays or 4 plays here, and we've had a flag on all of them but one.
The one that wasn't was a sack.
Yeah.
Forced Morgan into a punt. You are right. 4 out of 5 plays to start our third quarter. 10-12 to go in the third of a 22-0 3-score New Lexington lead. 1st and 15 for New Lex. West M, they'll get on the road next week. Tri-Valley back here in 2 weeks. The game will be streaming for you live here on South 60 Films. Don't miss that. Run play, Kellogg, left side of the line, stretched out. Got about 3 maybe to the 41.
That was really a nice job that time over there on the right side. The defender stood the tackle up, got off the block, made a tackle for a little or no gain. Nice play that time. I believe it was number 66 for the Raiders. That would be Devin Waggy.
2nd down 12 after the 3-yard pickup. Trips right. No receivers to the left side. As you have Kellogg again in the backfield to the right of Stevens. He gets the pitch, looks for the blocks up the front line, and he gets it past midfield near the 45 of Morgan, just shy thereof, but enough for a 1st down. He's not shy of that.
But on the run, I saw he had it. He put his face down because he knew he was going to be hit, and that guy missed him. And he put it. He kind of flinched to be hit again, and that guy missed a tackle, and all of a sudden he was in the open. Great run. Poor tackling.
That hole was wide open for him to run right through, and he did just that for that 1st down run. Looking to pass, Stevens downfield. Hanson missed him by a couple yards. Not been their night tonight to connect, as New Lex has not needed it. But Hanson nearly slipped past the defense. The ball not on the mark.
Well, it's throwing it into a gale force wind and rain. Man, that would have been a miracle for that to be complete.
It'll make it 2nd and 10. Yeah, Hanson, speaking of big plays, Spicer moments ago, they had that punt return taken it back. That's what Bentley is.
Well, here comes the unbalanced look here on the right side. So usually a running formation.
See if they go back to the ground game, Coach Board with Kellogg here, or try to get Hanson uncorked. 9:07 left to go third quarter. Back to Kellogg it goes up the middle, and he's taken would-be tackler for another ride of a couple more yards to the 40 of the Raiders. Good chunk of 6. As Kellogg works on a triple-digit rushing night tonight if he continues.
Another tackle by Devin Waggy for the Raiders. So he's playing that defensive end position in the 3-4 defense they're using tonight.
3rd down 4 after a half dozen on that carry by Kellogg. Short side of the field. Again, you see this. You got trip receivers here, Doug, and it's wide open to the left. You expect maybe a run or something in that direction.
It's unbalanced to the short side.
Stevens, right side, though, hands off to Kellogg. And Kellogg is greeted by a pair of tacklers after only a yard gain, and it will be 4th down.
Tanner Bankus and William Dodd on the play. Bankus made first contact. Dodd came in immediately following initial contact. 4th down, Panthers are going to go for it, and they're going to go for it quickly.
Raiders defense been bending but not breaking.
Well, this is when Isaiah Stevens is at his most dangerous, because if he can throw it to anybody, and he can also take off. Coach Bohr is giving him a lot of signals. Still signaling. Okay, the play's finally in. Changed formation.
Schwinneman stops left side at the line. It's a fake to Kellogg. Stevens going to call his own number. Down he goes.
He's
no
short.
gain. They'll turn it over again on downs, and the score remains 22-0.
Tanner Bankus was not fooled on that play at all. That's the exact play I would have called had I been Coach Bohr. I'd have put the ball in the hands of Isaiah Stevens and said, hesitate, pick a spot, and go get a first down. That time, Tanner Bankus was thinking the same thing.
So
nice play.
So the Morgan Raider defense steps up when they have to. Not quite saying they're on life support with CPR being performed here, but you're down 3 scores halfway through the third still, but they got the stops.
They got the stop.
Here's a pitch, bobbled, but recovered, and a nice run past midfield, New Lex territory 40, and nearly broke it. One more tackler, and he was dancing as the stop was made near the Panther 35. So here comes the Raider offense and Seth Brown as they're threatening again, but every time they have a chance, they haven't been able to cash in. Will this be their opportunity?
Well, not yet. Not because of that yellow hanky on the ground.
So again,
holding on the Raiders.
And flags have hurt him again. That'll shoot him in the foot. Tackle downfield, which was a touchdown-saving tackle, you could say, by Owen O'Brien. We called him a lot last week. First time tonight with that tackle downfield. Didn't matter with the penalty.
They've run that play 2 or 3 times, but that's the best it's worked all night. A little sweep out to the right wide side. Hayden Bankus had the ball and was very patient, picked up his blockers. Somebody got a handful of jersey and brought it back.
So it'll be placed at the Raider 42-yard line. Interesting how that happens, right? Spot foul penalties, you got 3 yards. It's 1st and 7. Loss of a yard, though, on 1st and 7 for Morgan's offense.
That tells me that the block was probably behind the runner again. Didn't need to even be made. You try to convince your guys, if he's running free like that, don't block. We used to tell our wide receivers, if you're a good blocker, you'd be a lineman. Just kind of get in somebody's way. If you can't, don't grab them.
2nd and 8. Will Morgan dial up on this one? Fake, couple backs in the backfield, swing pass.
Oh, boom.
It was that screen to the left side, and the hammer was met.
I know who that is. I can tell by the hit.
42.
Harrison Ratliff. He absolutely sniffed that screen pass out. The big rush was on. He read that. He saw the back leak out here to the left, and, man, he delivered the lumber on that one.
And it will be
nice
third.
hit.
Yeah, it'll be 3rd and long, and not the first time we've called his name. Many a times we've called him already with the defensive hits and stops.
Back's going back to the line of scrimmage, telling the quarterback, don't call that one again.
3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Paulie's going to run with it. Tuck and run. He's got it first at the 50, 45, 40 New Lex. 35, 30. Look at the speed from Paulie. Hayden, 10. And he's dropped right there immediately at about the 10, just shy thereof. Here at the midway point of the 3rd quarter.
Tell you what, we have a flag on the play.
Oh, upfield at the New Lex 35-yard line. Could the Raiders be undone again? Big play by Paulie. It was the biggest offensive play by Morgan tonight if it stands. And this play, again, took place back at the Raider 41-yard line. Would take away about 48 yards on the legs for Paulie, and it does.
So if you're the head coach on the other side of the field, you're thinking, we haven't held one time when we lost 5 yards. But every time, you have a big run, we hold.
It's one of those head scratcher things. Things make you go, So the Raiders will still have a first down upfield, though, where that penalty took place, spot foul. So, at least they're in New Lexington territory at the 45, but that was momentarily as we saw what happened here.
Bad snap from the center that time. Pauly couldn't field it. Had to just fall on it. 2nd and 19.
The Raiders have their work cut out for them, and with 5:35 left to go in the third quarter, being shut out.
They should have had the first down at the 10-yard line. And here they are, 2nd down and 20 at their own 46.
It's a fake. Pauly, quick pass, right side, got him in at the 50. Up near the 45, banged out of bounds there at the 44-yard line. It'll set up a manageable third down at about 9 for the Raider offense.
I believe that is 53 is Finley. Nicholas Finley knocked the guy out of bounds. Nicholas is obviously incognito tonight. He's got a number on. It's not supposed to be his, but nice play on his part that time. That could have been a big play if he hadn't been on the spot.
6 foot, 210-pound junior tight end Mason Brown on that catch from Morgan. And he'll come in motion from left to right. Low snap. Here's Pauly signaling downfield for the pass and got it. Back to his tight end Brown for a Raider first down, short of the 30. About a dozen more for the tight end.
I'm looking for a flag. No flag. All right. The Raiders have not quit.
They have something going right now.
The Raiders have not quit. And right now, Coach Ford's thinking, we should be ahead by 4 touchdowns, and we fiddled around and had a penalty, and we had it called back. Now these guys are on the threshold of cutting this lead down.
First down play, and it's a quick hitter to the running back.
Outstanding effort that time. I believe that is Bankus again. As he was carrying Panthers with him on that carry because they had him at the line of scrimmage.
Yes, it was Tanner Bankus.
He's lucky to pick up 2 yards. Great effort.
2nd and 8. Raiders trying to speed up the game here with the next call. As Pauly works out of the shotgun, now looks over to the sidelines. As he had a receiver in motion in Hayden Bankus. The Bankus boys for Morgan. 4:15 and ticking, and now the snap. Looking to the right.
Big pass rush.
Rolling right. Throws, middle of the field, 20-yard line, and it was dropped off the tips. Might have been nudged by a Panther defender, or else that was a catch.
That would have been a first down.
And it will be third down again and long for Morgan's offense. They need 8 yards.
Hayden Pauly is under pressure on every throw. I mean, they were all over him that time. He's getting basically 2 seconds to make a delivery instead of 4. And that doesn't sound like a long time, but in quarterback play, that's forever.
The junior Pauly, again, he's now the new starting quarterback filling in big shoes. Logan Nicesonger graduated, nearly 3,000 yards of total offense a year ago. And here goes Pauly jitterbugging, weaving around to about the 25. He's going to be short of the first down, but he did pick up 5, so it'll be 4th and 3 as they will line up to go for it.
Well, he turned nothing into something that time because he didn't even get back. He didn't even get the ball and set up the throw before the rush was on him. I mean, when you're in a shotgun and you don't have time to set up, that means you're getting no blocking up front.
Morgan has new weapons this year at wideout, and some of the same guys getting a little more playing time, but they sure could use Cole Searle, guy who caught 79 passes last year. He also graduated from that Raider team that made the playoffs a year ago. Here's a fake, 4th and 3, quick pass. He's wide open, he drops it. That would have been a first down for Morgan, but they will turn over on down as they go back to the tight end Brown, who made 2 catches just moments ago back-to-back, and he could have had a third and a first down for his team.
It's just there might be an anaconda running around there. This is the worst case of snake bite I've ever seen. I mean, both receivers that dropped the last 2 passes, they had gotten the first down yardage. The ball hit them right in the stomach. I mean, they were standing still with their back to the defense. It should have been an easy catch. But on a night like tonight,
Yep.
I mean, look at that rain coming down.
Getting ready to say that, as the Raider fans and the coaches still would say, like, well, it's a little wet outside.
If you let that ball go to your jersey's soaking wet, the ball's going to slide right off of it.
Run play, first down, Panthers. They get the ball at their own 25 to start this set of downs. And banging forward for 4 yards is the ever so busy Carson Kellogg here tonight.
He is definitely running between the tackles tonight.
Under 3 minutes left to go in our third quarter. Still a 3-score Panther lead. They jumped out 2 scores and 15-0 after one. 22-0 at the break. Neither team scored here in this third. Back to the ground game, and it's Kellogg again for a first down. This time they go over the left side between the guard and the tackle. As Kellogg rips it off to about the 38-yard line for 9 more when he needed 6.
Bradley Spencer and William Dodd brought him down. The problem is when your safeties are making tackles, it's not good.
Shotgun again for Stevens. Fakes this time to Kellogg. Kellogg blocks for him. Stevens 45-50. Oh, and he was tripped up at the Morgan 47. I think we have a flag that came in back in Morgan territory check that New Lex territory at the 42, and that's true. So I'm going to check the marker.
Well, I saw a Panther and a Raider tangled up on the ground back there, or on the carpet, and they're going to call holding on the Panthers.
Oh, that'll take away an explosive run by Stevens.
You bet. This is the kind of stuff that Coach Board is going to really harp on his team next week in practice, and probably tomorrow morning. Guys, we're playing a real team next week.
Yeah.
We're playing a team that's really good. Now, if you want to play giveaway, go get a job at Goodwill. We're just giving points away.
Talking about the West Wisconsin Tornadoes next week. Up next for the New Lexington Panthers
That's
on the road.
Sides. Oh, I guess you have to leave a footprint when you jump off sides tonight.
So no call. It turns out 4 receivers, 3 to the right. Kellogg alone back there with Stevens. He's going to lead block for Stevens, or try to, and Stevens is just going to kind of fall to the ground here quietly at the 34 after 2.
Defense had the thing cut off. He had nowhere to go, and it looks to me like he just basically took a knee right there.
Thought better of it. He'll try again on second and long. Second and 14, throwing 34. Under 2 minutes left to go, third quarter.
Well, West End's playing Garaway tonight, now.
Oh, Garaway's so tough. Garaway beat West End last year.
7-0 West right now, third quarter.
Wow. We appreciate the update on that
There's
game.
A screen pass.
As Kellogg gets the catch out of the backfield.
Not fooled. Not fooled was number 1, William Dodd. Nice play. 4
yards for Kellogg. Getting back to West, they lost their only regular season game last year. Garaway, 28-0. Pirates always tough.
I remember that.
Always rough and tough early in the season. Looking to get revenge, and it appears like the Tornadoes may just do that.
It appears the Tornadoes are playing some defense this year, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have here?
3rd and 10.
There's a unbalanced look to the wide side this time.
Panthers can pick up a first down, their own 48. Ball placed at their 38. As Stevens again waits his snap. Man in motion, right to left, handoff, Kellogg. Kellogg, big hole, 45. He put it on the turf, and the Raiders, I think, have got another one as New Lexington has turned it over again, their second fumble tonight. And the Raiders will take over in Panther territory with 48 seconds left to go into this third frame. Still down 22-0, but the defense trying to keep them in it.
Well, now, here you come up with a turnover. You're still in the third quarter. And you've had 2 opportunities to put points on the board, and your own penalties have kept you from doing that. And, this could be the tying touchdown for the Raiders had they not had those penalties.
Always woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Oh, I'm telling you. Okay, see what they have left here.
Pauly out of the gun. 3 receivers, 2 receivers left. Tight end into motion, and Brown from right to left. Handoff, Tanner Bankus. Bankus churning those legs forward. But he didn't get far, 3 feet, 1 yard.
Well, I tell you what, there's some tough sledding in there for Bankus running. They like to run him off left tackle, looks like to me, more than anywhere else. And they're just not getting anything there. That defense, the defensive line, 53 and 54. Well, one's Finley, 54. Who would that be? Wyatt Fisher. Man, they're stuffing it. The linebackers fill quickly.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job on the running game tonight.
Stout run defense overall by New Lexington, especially holding the running backs in check, in particular Tanner Bankus. Out of the gun, Pauly, Bankus, Tanner bounces out, and he's able to get past 45 to about the 44. Again, 3 of the toughest yards potentially you'll face.
He's a quality running back. He's a tough kid, but man, he's just getting pounded at the line of scrimmage.
And that run by Bankus will end the third quarter. It'll be 3rd and 6 for Morgan at the Panther 44-yard line. 12 more minutes left to go. Panthers look to go to 3-0 for the second time in 3 years. Morgan, are they going to be 0-3 for the first time since 2019? Find out after this.
Well, I think my cookies had it.
Yeah. I think so. Triple dog dare you to do that.
I was so excited.
I'll
I
pay
stuck
you.
this down in my pocket, climbed up the ladder.
Saved by some crumbs. Oh, it's not all for naught.
Oh, that's right.
It's like ending a shutout. Will Morgan do that? You were not shut out. Well, see, the Raider team's lost 2 tight ones. We'll come back and mention that. And talk more about the Panther defense, too. The offense is overshadowing the defense. 7 points allowed in the opener, and 12 points were finally in the first half, and then a late touchdown for what it was worth by the backups. Back to action here, start of the fourth quarter with Doug Clifford. I'm Hank Alfman here at Jim Rockwell Stadium. Wet night it's been, weather delay night. Morgan with the ball back, and it's incomplete. They're going to call this a pass.
Yeah, it was a forward handoff, so that's considered a pass.
And that's a fortunate thing because New Lexington would have taken over the football. And instead it will be 4th down and 6 as we have just 4 seconds elapsed in this 4th and final quarter of regulation. Morgan's got to convert here. They got to get points and touchdowns in a flurry, or they're going to be 0-3 for the first time in 5 years after making back-to-back playoff appearances and winning records of 6-5 the last 2 years.
Or they're going to go for it.
Paulie's going to throw this one left sideline, one-on-one, and it's incomplete at the 11. Overshot his target by a couple yards. And the New Lexington defense, again, unheralded here in the early part of this 2024 season. We always talk about the offense. Turn the Raiders over on downs.
Well, when you're a defensive coach, you always tell your kids, we won't lose if they don't score. And right now, Morgan can't score. And, even last week against Philo, after they fell behind 12-11, they shut down the Electrics.
They really did. It was a late touchdown in the fourth quarter. The game was well in hand as the benches were clearing.
Right.
Yep. So New Lex takes over. 11:51 left to go in the game. Stevens, fake, pass, got his man. It's Bentley Hansen. Oh, where you been, Bentley? Here we go. Inside the 40 to the 37 as he makes his name for himself on that catch.
Well, people might question the fact they're throwing the ball, the 22-point lead. I think that's a great call.
Yeah.
Coach Board, I'm sure he's told his guys, we've just kind of floundered around here in the second half. We're going to put some points on the board.
Quiet night for Hansen standards. Hadn't needed much. Got 18 on that one. Go back to Kellogg here on 1st and 10 at the 38, and he'll go inside the 35 for 4 yards to the 34.
Well, Kellogg didn't have much there to run, much room to run. He just put the shoulders down and said, I want to get what I can. I like that kind of a running back. Don't come out there and run sideways for 15 minutes and lose 2 yards.
4 receivers to his direction. Kellogg fake as Stevens will look to throw it this time. Got Hansen. Oh, streaking past the defender and incomplete as he slipped past Bankus.
That was the old RPO run pass option series, and he ran toward Hansen and basically kind of gave him a head nod, said, take it down the field, and he took off. He just didn't get the ball to him.
And instead, 3rd and 6, unable to make that connection that time. 11:03 to go. Threatening at the Raider 34-yard line. Got good field position because the defense held the Raiders near midfield. Here goes Kellogg bouncing it out. Still fighting for that first down. He got it. He would not be denied as he gets inside the 30.
That's a heck of an effort. I was just thinking while that play was being run, well, Coach Bohr is going to go for it on 4th down if he doesn't make it. And he shouldn't have made it. He was hit about 3 different times. He just would not go down. great run. Sometimes your best runs are not those 75-yard breakaways. It's just those 4 or 5, 6, yard battles. Your running back, wins.
Point well made, and it got Kellogg and his team a first down. They go back to Kellogg, feeding them inside the 20, just short of the 15 as he rips off about another 10 yards or so.
Knocked out of bounds by Hayden Pauly that time. That may well have been another score.
Give them 11. Ran out at the 16 as the Panthers look for their first second half score of the game.
Hank, this looks like the Panthers we saw in the first half, not the Panthers we saw in the third quarter.
Coming down the field, shorter field, but mind you, making it look like easy work the last 3 plays. Here is Kellogg.
Oh.
Explosive. Took a lick at about the 11 and down there. Fortunately, he was able to hold on to the pigskin.
Well, there are guys fighting for the football. They must have seen it get bobbled or something, because guys are flying in on a pile way later than they should have. They're fighting for that football.
Yeah, our vantage point, we didn't get a great look if he actually did lose it when he got popped. Regardless, Panthers maintain possession. He gets 5.
Yes.
2nd and 5, 11-yard line. About 10 minutes now left to go here in our game. Panthers looking for more. Kellogg gets it, bounces it left side around the end, and he's going to be stacked up at about the 9 and driven out.
Great job that time by the defense. They had him stopped in the hole, but he bounced to the outside, but they maintained leverage on him. And when we talk about leverage, we mean that you pursue the running back and you don't let him cut back, inside you, but you also maintain a good enough leverage so he can't run around you to the outside. It's a great job by the defense that time.
When the sideline's there, short side of the field,
bet.
the defense has done their part.
12th man.
3rd down 3, and a stop and stutter run the right side of the line. It's going to be close to a first down. They had to get to the 6th. I think we're going to be short by about a yard, or the Panthers here on this carry.
Well, they're well within range of young Berriman, the kicker. I think his name's Tristan. Yeah, Tristan Berriman can easily kick a field goal here, but Coach Board wants more than that. He wants a 6 instead of a 3.
Listed as the backup, number 16, Lane Ratliff, got the carry for New Lexington there, not Kellogg. As they spelled him for a moment, 4th and 1 at the 7. They're going to line up to go for us, Coach Board.
I believe Lane's had a couple of good brothers to play here ahead of him.
He certainly has, and Ratliff remains in the game as Stevens will take it out of the gun and go forward, and he got just enough for the first down. Snap a little bit high, but he knew what to do with it once he got it.
Well, he certainly does. I mean, he's the X factor as far as his instinct. I mean, you can coach a kid until you're blue in the face, but if he doesn't have some instincts, then he's not going to make that kind of a play.
And he got the first down on 4th and 1
did.
by doing so. 2 yards he got, 5-yard line for the Panthers, 1st and goal. Ratliff remains in the backfield to the right now of Stevens. 3 receivers, 2 to the short side to the left. And it's going to be Ratliff. Big hole, Ratliff. Can he get in? Bangs it home. Lane Ratliff, the sophomore, has scored for the Panthers here in the 4th quarter to make it now 28-0 New Lex.
Sophomore, Lane Ratliff. I believe his oldest brother was a quarterback all the way through. His next brother had been a wide receiver until his senior year. Got moved to quarterback, had a great senior year. They're great kids. I think I'm going to have to ask Ray here, but I think both those boys went off to play some college ball.
So New Lex, well, you find that out if you can. Go up 28-0. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Kellogg back in. Kellogg gets the tote, and Kellogg gets the 2.
Put the clock on full speed. 30-point lead.
30-0. As you just mentioned, we will have a running clock coming up with 8:15 left to go in our contest. As your first points of this second half go New Lexington's way, all the points have gone New Lexington's way here tonight. As they continue to pitch the shutout as well defensively with that goose egg for the Morgan Raider offense. New Lexington looking strong, and the Panthers looking to get revenge here. Remember, they lost by 7 on this field to Morgan a year ago. Some different personnel, a different coach on the Morgan side, and a better result, it looks like, for New Lexington.
Oh, no doubt about it. That was a great drive. I mean, New Lexington kind of stumbled around here in the second half and had a punt return for a touchdown called back. Their offense really hadn't clicked much. That was a nice drive, running the ball very well. And young Lane Ratliff punching that thing in. And his two older brothers are playing football at Marietta College. That information comes from our #1 source here at the press box, Ray Hayden.
Ah, the pioneers of the OAC.
Yes, they are.
Very familiar, being a Muskingum grad.
Thank you, Ray, for that information. We sure appreciate it.
You're part of the OAC crowd. Wilmington Quakers
There you
joined
go.
a little bit later in life to
Fighting
the league.
Quakers.
But hey.
The Fighting
Mighty
Quakers haven't had much fight in them for a while.
Yeah. I don't think the Muskies have had a lot of fight either. But the Morgan and the Raiders will try to fight here to the finish and get off the schneid. The Panthers putting up points here in the fourth quarter.
By golly, when we played, we fired those leather helmets up.
I don't think you're fibbing. Here's a squib.
Oh, nice pickup.
23-yard line, scoop there. Morgan will run this one back about 10 yards shy of the 33.
Tavian Myers did a great job of fielding that thing. He looked like a Davy Conception shortstop on that play. Nice pickup.
The Panthers go down the field, 47 yards. Short field on that last scoring drive. Capped off by the 5-yard TD run by Lane Ratliff, the sophomore.
Lane Ratliff is in the game on defense now.
As we start to give him lots of pub and love here in this fourth quarter. Well deserved. See if the Raiders can get something going and sustain something to get points. Running, Pauly, left side. He put the shoulder down, did the cube.
Yes, he did.
The defender, as he goes down to the 39, picking up 7.
Well, number 11 for New Lex, Owen O'Brien's going to get credit for that tackle, but he's going to have to readjust his mouthpiece because he took that one right in the face. Nice run by the quarterback.
Well, you know, Pauly is listed 6'2", 170 as a junior. Pretty good stature.
Good-sized kid.
Yeah. Not afraid of contact there on that play. Under 7 to go. Pauly this time hands it off. Tanner Bankus, believe it or not, one of his better runs, a 5-yard chugger with about 5 offensive linemen help pushing him.
Well, this is the time with a 30-point lead and a running clock. If you're the defensive coordinator, you can get very creative with your calls. That time the linebackers were flying up. I think that was a run-stop design blitz. But you can turn your guys loose on defense now. They're not going to score a 31-point touchdown.
1st and 10. Needed 5, got 5. And Hayden Bankus.
Yeah,
there's a flag coming in.
Horse collar that time. Is 22 for New Lex. Had Tanner Toth had good position. Reached back and grabbed that collar, and he's going to get called for that.
Steady rain continues. You mentioned the flag here going to go on New Lex for that. With Toth. I've been calling Tanner Bankus a lot, running the ball. That time they gave it there to Hayden Bankus, part of the Bankus boys. There in Morgan. Fortunately, he was able to get up okay, was Hayden. So the penalty will move the ball all the way down to the 43 of New Lexington as Morgan will try to finish something here. Panthers want that shutout, I'm sure.
I'm sure they do. They played too hard and too well tonight to give up points now.
Pauly fakes, pitches this one with that right hand, a little lob pass.
Nice move by.
And Hayden is stuffed for a loss back at the 46. Great pursuit by New Lexington's defense.
Well, he made a great move that time, but he went down. I saw him get twisted to the ground, and he's still down.
So the 10 to the player. You know, we had a lot of stoppages, especially the second half last week, but it was due to cramps, in particular on a 100-degree feeling type night when it was 90 at kickoff. Different night here tonight. It was like, get out the jackets. Who would have thought? 1 week later.
Yeah,
we raincoats, ponchos, everything.
I think you can see that we kind of underestimated the forecast with our attire.
We called for the monsoon, right?
We looked like we were headed for the beach.
They're on their knees over there. Is the Morgan players for the injured player. Clock stopped, 5:21 left to go in this one. gives us a chance to remind you, don't miss the big game next week scheduled for these New Lexington Panthers on the road at West Muskingum against the Tornadoes. Could be your small school championship, and that matchup, we will have it for you on Fox 5 with a replay. South 60 Films, your official streaming partner of the New Lexington Athletics all year long. We will not call the game next week, calling all the home games.
Yeah, I keep hearing you say a small school championship, but I just want you to know that the mighty Ceramics are undefeated.
They are 2-0 coming in tonight. That's true. The mighty Potters they are. Don't call them Potters. Second down, a long run for Morgan after the injury timeout for Pauley. Also, the 21st Century program at New Lexington High School. Make sure to call the high school today to enroll as we slide those in with under 5 to go.
Pass rush has just been too much for the Morgan offensive line tonight. And now, with 3rd down and 9, 30-point lead, the pass rush is just exploding off the line of scrimmage. They're not even worried about the running.
Pauley stumbles, fires to his tight end as he hits the deck. And it's connected to Brown at the 42-yard line. Basically no gain on the pass play.
Great coverage that time by Harrison Ratliff.
It'll mean 4th and 9 here for the Morgan offense. One more hurrah for Seth Brown's club for a first down and potential points on this side of the field. New Lexington looking for that shutout. Gave up 7 in week 1 against Fairfield Union. 19 last week against Philo. One of those was a late touchdown. However, this defense has come to play again tonight.
Well, here come the linebackers. Well, they're backing out now. They're dropping off. 3-man rush.
Deep pass, left side, one-on-one coverage. It's short of the mark. Wounded Duck lands at the 16. Turnover on downs again for the Raider offense.
Well, he didn't get it. Looks like he kind of lost his grip on that throw, and he got up in the rain and the wind, and that thing just fluttered to the ground.
Panthers take over on downs. Seen that many times here tonight. At least the 3rd time for the Morgan offense turning it over on downs.
That would have been an interesting play down the field. The defender was right there. I mean, that would have been a jump ball between the two players. But, like you said, it just kind of fluttered to the ground. It was definitely a wounded aerial piece of duck.
As New Lexington trots out their offense here, remains to be seen when with a running clock and a 30-0 score. If you start to see some of the backups coming on in for Coach Board.
Starters are coming out one by one here.
There goes Hanson. There goes some more of the crew. First stringers. Spicer still remains out there, and now he comes out. Schwinnerman out.
Saw Bryce Posey go in the game. 6'1", 165. Listed as a tight end, just a sophomore.
And Ratliff will come back up.
Well, let's get that Ratliff kid in another spot.
Hey. Sophomore scored a 5-yard rushing touchdown here in this quarter. He is listed as the backup quarterback. He is in at quarterback for Isaiah Stevens. 2:45 and counting. He'll hand it off here on 1st down and long after they took a delay of the game penalty.
Colton Mathias that time, young man who made the impressive tackle on a kickoff earlier in the game.
Short gain goes to the 40 for a few. 2nd down, 12, give him 3. As we get closer to the 2-minute mark, New Lexington's going to be 3-0 for the 2nd time in 3 years. Back in 2022, they started 4-0 before Tri-Valley ended an undefeated start a couple seasons ago. Back to Mathias again for the run. No gain to the 40 at the original line of scrimmage of the snap. Be 3rd down and long. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Morgan's going to be 0-3. First time since 2019. Good years, really good years, last 2 years under Chase Bowman, who now is the former head coach of the Raiders. He is the assistant athletic director, and he is a part of the defensive coaching staff. He wanted to step out of the classroom and not teach. And by Morgan's standards and rules, if he wants to do certain things like that, to be the assistant athletic director, he could not be head coach, but he can still be part of the coaching staff. I got word of that at halftime officially.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 yard on that last carry, and Doug, now you're looking at 4th and long for what it's worth with under 90 ticks. Well, we try not to get blown away up here.
That's exactly right. It's a little windy up here. Nice performance tonight by the Panthers. I'm sure Coach Board will review that 3rd quarter with them and point out the mistakes they made, the penalties, blocking behind the runner on a punt return touchdown, and little things like that. But they played awfully well, and they may be guilty of looking ahead a little bit.
West Muskingum Tri-Valley, the next 2 weeks, probably looking at their schedule from top to bottom. Those are going to be the two toughest opponents on their schedule the rest of the way.
All right, delay of game penalty here on the Panthers.
So they'll take that delay, and the winds have cranked up. So we've had it off and on. We've had the rain off and on, heavy to steady, but it's been consistent. Obviously, late start tonight, hour 20 minutes it took to start things at 8:20 when it should have been 7 o'clock. Quite the night. We got equipment up here. My laptop seems like it needs to be shaken out with water again. You're looking at our paper rosters, and they're kind of being shredded up. They're moist as can be, aren't they?
I'm not worried about these rosters. My cookies took a hit right there. Man,
it's been rough. Past your bedtime, too, wasn't it?
My oatmeal cookies got turned into oatmeal soup. They're not going to run another play. Hank, this one's in the books.
That is. As we got our final words in on what was a very interesting night weather-wise, and getting off to this one. New Lexington takes care of biz here at Jim Rockwell Stadium. They get revenge. Morgan got him here a year ago. They get him here tonight. New Lex goes to 3-0. They stay undefeated. West Dim on the road next week. Tri-Valley back here. That we'll have for you streaming live on the 20th of September. And 30-0. They shut out the Morgan Raiders. Morgan slips to 0-3 as they will try to get on a winning streak of their own and get their first win next week.
The offense may not have been spectacular in the second half, but the defense was great all night. I mean, they gave up very few plays. I'm sure Morgan's total offense is not much. And a great job by the Panther defense tonight to get the shutout.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll see if we get some final highlights and a wrap on this one. Next week, again, New Lex will take on West. Tonight, though, 30-0 winners at home over Morgan to go to 3-0. Back with a final wrap on things after this.
So what's the name of your guys' class again?
New Media Plus.
What?
New Media Plus.
Back here at Jim Rockwell Stadium, Hank Alvin with Doug Clifford, bringing it back in here. 30-0 the final score here tonight, as it was a big shutout win for the New Lexington Panthers as they go to 3-0 on the season. Morgan falls to 0-3. We've seen the Panthers the last 2 weeks here at the Rock, and they've looked very impressive. Steamrolled Philo, especially from early second quarter on last week to tonight, where they got the goose egg pitched against this Morgan offense.
Well, it was very impressive defensive performance tonight by the Panthers. Before we get out of here, I want to thank the New Media Plus class, the guys from New Lex from the Workforce Center. They did a yeoman's work tonight in this rain and wind. But the Panthers tonight, best defensive performance of the season, by far.
Absolutely. We got some highlights to roll through, and let me tell you, it was a total team effort on both sides of the ball for this Panther team as we roll into those. And, on a night where you think New Lexington is going to continue to throw the ball around the yard, well, the weather played a big factor. We started this game an hour and 20 minutes late. Kickoff was 8:20, scheduled for usual 7 o'clock, so it might have slowed New Lexington's thought process down a little bit on the passing front. Carson Kellogg took care of business. He had a couple touchdowns tonight. Panthers had 2 rushing touchdowns. Take a look at this right here. This play, Doug, unfortunately, was no points for New Lexington, but it was an exciting one from Spicer.
I'll tell you what, that kid is lightning in a jar. And look at those moves. He baits their defender. There's the block behind the play. I'm sure they called that. That's completely unnecessary. Don't make that block. That guy's out of the play.
Punt return for score here in the second half, all for naught. New Lexington jumped out 15-0 after one, 22-0 at the half. Neither team scored in the third. Here's a highlight from Morgan, and guess what? This too came back due to a flag. A nice run by the Morgan Raiders deep in New Lex territory.
Well, the penalties killed any chance they had of putting points on the board. Every time they got down deep in that territory, they'd have a penalty. And I think there's a penalty on this play.
And, Morgan gets this play here. Also, a nice run by Pauly, called back by another penalty flag. Sign of the times tonight. So it seemed like every time maybe Morgan might get something on track offensively, there comes out that yellow thing flying on the turf.
Well, we always told our kids that there's two teams on the field that you have to overcome. One of them is wearing helmets and one of them is wearing stripes. And, you have to play cleanly or you pay the penalty.
And so Morgan's everything going against them. Seems like they had something going offensively, potentially try to get back to the game. It was all for naught here. Pauly's throwing one up for the Raiders in defeat. That was a long pass on 4th down towards the end of this one as the last gasp effort for points would not work for them. Lane Ratliff,
Yes.
He runs it in, the sophomore, yes. Did I say that right? Yeah,
He
Ratliff.
played every.
How many
defense,
Ratliffs are here?
Offense, quarterback, he did it all.
Sophomore Lane Ratliff's capped the scoring with a 5-yard touchdown run right there. 2-point conversion they would add. That would be the 8 points that New Lexington would score in the half. Morgan got shut out. Panthers go to 3-0. Raiders fall to 0-3. And oh, by the way, New Lexington has Westham's game next week on the road and back here at Jim Rockwell at home in New Lex against Tri-Valley and the Scotties. Next 2 weeks will really define their season if maybe they run the table and go undefeated. 2 toughest games of the year left.
Well, you're just worried about West End right now. That's going to be a handful.
We will have that game on Fox 5. It's a replay next week. It's a small school division championship, in quotes you could say, when the Tornadoes and the Panthers do it next Friday. And in 2 weeks, Tri-Valley comes here. You'll be incognito. Wish you well. We won't do a game till October together. Ted Snyder will fill in with me for the Dogs and the Panthers next time here, streaming live on South 60 Films. Your final thoughts on tonight's doozy of a game and the weather. Talk about that again.
Well, the weather was just horrendous. And the Panther offense was very efficient that first half, put up 22 points. Third quarter, they kind of took off, but dominating performance by the Panthers tonight.
Really was. Carson Kellogg had a 2-yard touchdown around the start of the scoring. He had a 31-yard receiving touchdown in the second quarter, so 2 touchdowns for Kellogg. Isaiah Stevens ran a 19-yard touchdown as well. You got to throw Stevens in each and every week for this Panther team. Hey, take it easy and go dry off.
Yeah, we got to find some long pants, too.
I know, right? Thanks again for tuning in on this Friday night. It's a late one here tonight. 30-0. New Lexington shuts out Morgan.